Good morning, everyone. I hope you had a wonderful Memorial Day holiday. Welcome. It is Tuesday. It's tough with a holiday to keep ourselves straight, but it is Tuesday morning. Welcome to our broadcast. We have some special guests this morning who will go first as an introduction, but you all know Lauren Morowitz, and I'll let Lauren introduce our new guest.
Good morning, everybody. I hope you all had a nice weekend. The weather was beautiful. It was nice after a couple days of rain. Well, I have our brand new, hot off the presses, Independent Living Recreation Coordinator, Megan Adkins, here with us this morning. Megan started about a week ago, and she has been slowly getting herself acclimated, and you'll be seeing her around a lot more in the upcoming weeks. So I'll just turn it over to Megan.
Hi, it's been nice to meet everyone. I'm excited to meet everyone else as I get to see all the new faces and stuff. Really happy to be here, really excited to start, and I hope to meet more of you soon. I know on Friday we're having the Donut Day in Center Point from 10 to 11, so I hope to see you all there.
Yep, come on out for National Donut Day this Friday, and you'll get to get a donut and see Megan and have a chat with her. So thank you.
All right. Thank you very much, and welcome, Megan, to the team. Good to see you. And thanks, Lauren. All right. Good morning. So we did have a few inquiries since last week, and I'll try to address some of them. Some will be addressed at resident council this week. The first was about Katie offering reminders about the bulletin, on the bulletin of the communique and the weekly traditions menu, as we have some new residents who may not know that those are published weekly. And so Madison can certainly put up reminders just on the bulletin to remind folks to look for those memos that come out on a weekly basis. So thank you for that. There was a question about the lodge garage door not working. It was my understanding that actually that had been fixed. I'll follow up with Tim. He said that there was a part, it was open for about a month as we waited for a part, but that has actually been fixed. Does anyone in the lodge have anything contrary to that? Is it not working again? It worked this morning. Thank you, Tom. So I think that's been addressed. We've had several questions about power washing. You know, we haven't done it for a bit. We started off this year doing the majority of the work around the campus. We're a little off schedule given some of the weather events that we've had. And I know there's been some questions about what is included, what is not included. And I know Crystal's reached out to those specifically with questions. And Tim will talk about this at resident council to make sure it gets in the minutes this week. But we're trying to get to the majority of the campus with our power washing. It's quite an endeavor, as you know, and there's quite a lot of spots that either have pollen or some dirt just built up over time with the wind and so forth. So we're kind of sharing the responsibility for the power washing with a company that has been retained to do the work. And our team will also go around to do some of the additional work that may not have been included with the contract. So more about that at council from Tim. And the last thing I'll just mention before I open it up to questions is that, as you know, we're still in the strategic planning process. We had a series of 2 days, 4 events, 4 roundtable discussions. Thank you to everyone who participated in those discussions with your insights and your input. It's all being called together through a document that the Strategic Planning Committee will be looking at in 2 weeks. In between then, we have visited with the health center and assisted living residents to ask the same series of questions, so we have some feedback from them as well. And as I mentioned last week in the communique, there's an open period of comments for additional insights or comments that you might have or questions through June 3rd at 5 o'clock. So get those directly to me, and we'll be able to add that to our thought process for strategic planning. So those are all the announcements I have, and we'll open it up to some questions or comments. Mr. Connor?
For 4 years, I've complained about the standing water behind our wing. It's still standing, and I sure wish something could be done. I know we wasted more water than it would have cost to fix the problem, And it seems like to me something could be done over there.
Yeah, and in fact, so Mr. Connor's talking about I-Wing. There's a lot of standing water that's been an issue for several years. I think the issue was the gutters. A long time ago when they were installed, there were some additional holes that were drilled into them to allow for extra drainage. I don't know why. Tim is fixing that, and that should help with the runoff. And then we'll be regrading and adding some softscape, so some bushes and so forth, that will take up some of the extra water as well. So that is underway. Thank you so much. Ms. Mary Corley?
I'm interested in the people that show up here who are not resident, independent living residents who come here for meetings. Would it be possible to have maybe I'm the only one, so if I am the only one, okay, but have that on the daily schedule at the bottom, when it shows 1, 2, 3 from 7 on, at the bottom it would say so-and-so group is meeting from 10 to 2 or whatever it is.
I think that's a great idea. It's helpful to know who's amongst us, particularly if it's an outside group. And I will work with Megan and Lauren to see how best that can be publicized.
And my second comment is I wish there were some way for events that would automatically disappear when they're no longer going on.
On Katie, you mean?
Yeah, on Katie.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
So-
mean, they hang on there until she comes back.
We like to reminisce. No, I'm kidding. So what we have found with that program is we can set the parameters to maintain certain slides or documents for a defined period of time. And I know Madison and Corey are working on that to go through each one to set a parameter so it will disappear or drop off. That would be abundantly helpful. Yeah, we agree. We're still learning a lot about Katie ourselves. Other comments or questions from this audience? Yeah, Jack.
Excuse me, good morning.
Morning.
I'd like to see some of the staff directors come to these coffees. In the old days, they would come in and you could question them directly. Not that you can't carry the ball, but it's nice to talk to them, and sometimes you have a little private conversation that just between the two of you, that you have a question, you don't want to take up time. But I sure would like to see some of the other directors come in besides Tom.
Yeah. So I understand it's been a different format. COVID sort of forced it into a broadcast. We're trying to reopen it a little bit to the audience and still maintain a broadcast. The directors and I met last week about the format based on a suggestion you had, and we agree that they can certainly be present. What we're trying to do is if there are specific questions that come through for a director, they can join us, and that's what I've been doing. But what I'm hearing now is that you would like to have a variety of directors present for the opportunity for questions every other week. Again, the encouragement is for them to come to the social as well for that opportunity, but we can certainly do that for this group, and I'll meet with them today and have a schedule of folks who will come. It may not be all of them every time, but we can certainly have a variety. Yeah, that's a good suggestion.
Good morning.
Morning.
I put in a work order with the concierge over at the Manor last Tuesday. Apartment kitty corner from us is being rehabbed. Person moved into Manor East. During one of the rehab days, the patio light got turned on. The patio light is still on 7 days later. Granted, this is not a huge thing, but, why should we have lights on day and night? I don't know if nobody ever went in there, if they forgot about it or what, but it's still on.
I apologize for that. Certainly that is a detail that we can pay more attention to. And with the work order, that should have resolved the issue immediately. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. We'll circle back, make sure it got through. Did anyone respond to you? No, okay. Well, let's make sure that the flow of communication is working. And then just a reminder, I know Tim has been reminding security as they make rounds, and certainly anyone else who walks by and sees the light on, we can turn it off.
It's outdoors.
Gotcha, okay,
But it's still on during the day.
okay. I will follow up. Go ahead.
We had an excellent opportunity today with Lauren here to find out more about this new person we've hired. Didn't hear a word about what her experience is or where she's going to fit in. That would have been nice to know. Be nice to hear from her. A chance to meet these folks, as we were saying, one-on-one, to know more about who they are, what they're about, and how they're going to serve us.
Sure,
Thank you.
yeah, thank you. All right, other comments or questions?
In attending the long-range, whatever you call it, long-range planning group that day, we were told that we will be getting a summarized list of what was brought to your attention. And is that correct?
Yes, yeah, so the week of June 20th, we'll be hosting a presentation, and we'll also have it in writing, and we can put it out there on Katie. And you'll see how all the comments were reflected back into a strategic planning process and where they may fall in terms of our strategy, and whether that's in the 2-year time frame or a little bit further out, but to capture everything that was shared with us.
Good.
So the week of June 20th, yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
You're welcome. A lot of really great ideas came out of that. I think it was a good process for folks to share some of their insights. There are a lot of common themes, and that's what we're kind of pulling together. What are the most common themes, and then what are some really good ideas that didn't fall within that, but still should be considered. And again, we're trying to keep it all focused on those 4 areas and see how they kind of weave into those elements. But I think you'll find a pretty dynamic document that we'll all work with every quarter, if not more often. We'll reflect back to you how we're doing as a community, how we're achieving those goals or not, and then what other strategies we need to implement. So really good input. Thank you. All right. Any other thoughts or comments this morning? I know we have the Holy Souls going off at 9 a.m. Under Bob's leadership. I think this is his last leading of that group, and we truly appreciate all the effort that he has put into that, the meaningful fellowship, the exercise, just getting out in fresh air together. I think is really important. So hopefully that will continue on some level. But we do want to wish everyone well with that walk today. All right. Well, thanks very much, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your day. Stay cool, and we'll see you around the campus. Thank you.